situated within the womb of the sea. This mythic narrative underscores the deep connection between serpents and the primordial waters, emphasizing their role as guardians of wisdom and ancient knowledge.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Also known as Oans, embodied a peculiar fusion of human and fish attributes, earning him the title of the Lord of the Flood. According to legend, he would emerge from the sea daily to impart his esoteric wisdom to his devoted followers.
Emerge from the sea daily, the sun.
The depiction associated with Dagon extended beyond a single entity and was representative of an entire race of deities. These beings were identified in the Bible as Nephilim or fallen angels, and in other contexts, they were referred to as the Great Old Ones. In Genesis,
you got your Nephilims and you got your serpents,
linked with the plural
your seraphims,
Elohim, which has been historically misinterpreted.
You got your cherubims and your seraphims. I'm sorry.
The word Elohim plays a prominent role in the Pentateuch, the collection of the first 5 books of Moses, also known as the Elohist tradition. In these writings, Elohim
Moses is Tahuti,
the third term for referring to the creators,
Allah,
in contrast to
Yahweh.
In Hebrew, the term El, derived from the Akkadian Elu, was a general word for a god or deity, and Elohim, as its plural form, literally meant the gods. So, wherever you find the word God in Genesis, replace it with the word Elohim, which is the original term used.
Elohim.
In several instances where the leader
there you go,
of the
Elohim, which is the constellations.
God, the English rendering is the Lord God,
which is your 12 zodiac signs,
the leader
or your 12 Ananukis.
The Elohim were also known.
You got 12 Anunnakis. You got 12 months.
Of the Sumerian word Anunnaki. The Hebrews, much like the Sumerians and their usage of Anunnaki, employed the term.
That's why you must study
when referring collectively
Hebrew and Arabic language.
When speaking of a specific god, they used El in context, such as El Shaddai, which signifies God of the mountain, or any specific title. The term Nephilim was used to describe the offspring resulting from unions between people of the Anakim race and humans. The Sumerians and Akkadians did not originally refer to these extraterrestrial visitors as gods. The concept of divine beings became more prevalent in later cultures. The Sumerians and Akkadians called them Elu, signifying the lofty ones, which eventually evolved into the Semitic Ili and El in Hebrew. The Sumerian term for the gods, Anunna or Anunnaki,
I didn't say Semitic.
Signifies those.
Or what about the Kemetic?
From the heavens.
What about our Kemetic stuff we had before y'all came with y'all Roman stuff? It's all Romans and Greek.
Another plane of consciousness and another celestial.
Does it have nothing to do with Egyptology?
The name suggested for this celestial body, Nibiru.
See? Zeus. Hey, Zeus. You see Zeus?
Hebrew. The Sumerian gods had an appearance that was somewhat reptilian in nature.
They're going to be mad at me for this.
The god of the skies, named An or An.
Free Rashad Jamal, man.
The first city they established upon descending to earth, Eridu, may indeed be at the root of the word earth, Erd, itself. Their sacred realm, known as Eden,
I told you that Bible was coded and need to be decoded.
Of Genesis. Sumerian records also detail their endeavors to enhance human intelligence, possibly through what contemporary
you heard that? Enhance human intelligence. And what they doing? Decreasing human intelligence.
Roberts, Seth,
they want to control the world with knowledge.
That cradle civilizations like Sumeria,
so they don't tell the civilizations everything. They colonize you.
In the advancement of human evolution. This concept is described as follows. Regarding the origins of your human stock,
they don't want you to evolve.
To understand that not all of it came from your planet exclusively. I didn't mention this before.
This is planet Kai.
Your ancestral history.
We come from the 19th galaxy.
The concept of
Orion's belt.
As commonly understood.
Sirius X.
Facets in those terms.
Look it up.
There were 3 or 4 distinct starting points.
We down here fighting war.
From beings originating from
we are the benevolent beings. We are fighting war against the benevolent beings.
The unfolding story. In comparison to the north,
it's war, man. Wake up, family.
Is quite unique. Many of the legends, consequently, are actually historical records of real physical events. These accounts often involve phenomena that the native populations couldn't adequately describe using their existing vocabulary. To convey what they witnessed, they resorted to analogies with familiar objects and occurrences.
Come on, man.
It's
But
worth
our
noting that some of these
elderly
extraterrestrial
don't
visitors,
believe in
according
analogies.
to your perspective, were more advanced or evolved than others. The beings from other planetary systems, in comparison to the civilizations they encountered, often seemed superhuman. Some of them even conducted deliberate experiments, although these experiments could be quite perilous for the experimenters themselves. Their aim was generally to enhance humanity's knowledge and understanding.
Your original 24 scientists, your original 24 angles, your original 24 hours, 12 plus 12,
space travel and the
as above, as below. Like, stop playing with me, man.
Not simple, linear progressions. Psychic abilities
Tuned in for real, man.
for advanced space travel.
That's what I do when I watch this stuff. I can just decode all this stuff, bro. Just by watching it. Y'all don't gotta believe me. Lean on your own understanding.
Where natural fear responses were lessened.
Don't lean on my understanding. It's working for me.
Significantly reduced. Out-of-body encounters became a common approach. This allowed the visitors to materialize and dematerialize without concerns about being pursued or detected. These advanced beings often provided civilizations with warnings about impending natural disasters, as their expanded perspective allowed them to perceive such events more clearly. These warnings were delivered either during the dream states of Earth's inhabitants, as explained earlier, or in secluded, secure locations. This approach was necessary because, on occasion, the visitors faced hostilities and attacks from the civilizations they were trying to assist. According to Seth's teachings, the original Sumerians were not only a biological species but also belonged to a distinct family or species of consciousness known as the Samarians. Seth describes these Samarians as one of several consciousness groupings, with each individual human having a specific soul affiliation with one of these groups. It was the Samarians who, through their existence, left a profound imprint on the culture known as Sumerian, also referred to as Samarian by historians. The Samarians were the initiators of that particular civilization, even though they didn't control all of its activities or the misinterpretations that sometimes occurred as a result of their teachings. There is a distinction between the Samarians and the culture portrayed in historical records. The Samarians served as the driving force behind the development of that civilization. Seth conveys the Samarians.
So they dropping only certain names,
while also highlighting a distinction in their biological origin. He suggests that they were not originally of human stock, but gradually evolved into a form that resembled humans over time. The Sumerians, in the distant
got Set
past,
and you got
played a pivotal role
Osiris
in Earth's
and
inhabitants
Heru.
in the arts of communication.
They're gonna tell you about Set. I ain't hear about
They
Mayat
were
yet.
foundational stones upon which civilizations could flourish. It's worth noting that the Sumerians themselves did not originate from the human lineage during that era. They transformed into human beings during different periods.
Your Dravidians.
The intent of encroaching on native human populations, but rather as a part of their evolution. Their profound grasp of the essence of individual existence empowered them to select from a multitude of physical realms the ones in which they desired to partake. They retained their inner wisdom and core identity, seamlessly incarnating into any chosen system.